Hey guys, it has been 1 year since I uploaded my first keto recipe video, and what a better way to celebrate than to have a little showdown with one of my older recipes that I'm really proud of, my pancake recipe. So I have some well-known keto brands. We're gonna pit it against my homemade. So let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. My name's Alicia and I'm a sous chef with a sweet tooth. And here we make delicious pastries, many from my time as a pastry chef. And my goal is to make the best keto desserts possible. So if you enjoy this content, please hit the subscribe button down there. I'm coming at you every Saturday with new keto desserts. Now on to pancakes. Okay, so this is going to be a little involved because I got 4 different kinds of pancakes, but I got my first 2 here ready to go. I already timed how long it would take me to measure out ingredients, and of course birch benders is the easiest. It's just add water, but to be honest, I already tried this back when I was doing my pancake testing because I really wanted a good pancake, and I tried that because that was really the only brand on the market at the time. Now there are tons. That was like the top dog at the time. But I wasn't a fan of it, which made me spur on to make my own recipe. All these usually say to sit, so I'm gonna mix everything up and then try to cook everything at the same time and try them at the same time, because once pancakes get cold, they're not that good. First up is birch benders. There's 3 grams of total sugars, but these are 5 grams of net carbs for 2 pancakes, so it's also a little high in net carbs. They're all pretty much the same price on Amazon. They're all in the $9.50, $9.90 range. Mine comes in way below that at about $5 for 30 pancakes, which most of these make 30 pancakes for the whole package. For 6 of the birch benders, it's $2.21, but all you have to do is add water. So it's the simplest one out of all the mixes. I have heard people doctoring them up, but if you're gonna doctor them up, you might as well just make your own, because mine did not take that long to put together. So we're just gonna mix 3/4 of a cup of water, and this only makes 4 pancakes, so I had to make it make 6. I want all these to be the price and quantity of 6 pancakes. Just water and mix, and that's it. Whisk it together, and it says to let it sit. You know, almond flour gets thick as it sits, but this one is the most straightforward ingredients. There's not a lot of craziness going on. There's no sugar alcohols in it, so it's the healthy option, and it's just tiger nut flour. It's cassava starch, which is I think why it gets a little bit higher of a carb content, but very simple, straightforward ingredients. So that one's good to go. The high key I have not tried. It was the most involved in getting things together because there's vanilla, almond milk, coconut oil, and an egg. So it has the most ingredients. The birch benders has buttermilk in it. So I think that is what helps it a little bit, cut down on the ingredients you need to add. But these are only 2 grams of net carbs for 3 pancakes and $2.33 to make 6. Now this one does have sugar alcohols in it. It's erythritol and then allulose, and I believe they use stevia too. So these ones are definitely going to be a lot sweeter. So this one just says I got to melt the coconut oil. Which, did I grab it? Nope. So melt coconut oil. It says to do it with a rubber spatula, so I guess I got the wrong tool. Specifically says not to overheat the coconut oil. So I think you just are supposed to melt it and then let the residual heat melt the rest. Should probably preheat my griddle too. This is the first time I'm using this. I bought it forever ago and then never really had a reason to pull it out. So hopefully it cooperates with me. I don't know. We will see. Okay, so then it just says to add all this into the dry mix. This took me 4 minutes to prep, so a little bit longer than the birch benders, which only took me a minute. It says it might not look like it's going to come together, but it will. This has tapioca fiber and flour in it, so that's the other, just different ingredient. All the rest is kind of normal stuff. Ooh, it is a thick batter right off the bat. These all have almond flour in them too. And that's one thing I like about mine is there's no almonds, so anybody that's nut-free can make my pancake mix and enjoy it. So we're gonna set these 2 aside. I have everything numbered so I don't forget what's what. Next is Keto & Company, which I like their banana caramel muffin mix. So this one I think this one was the most expensive out of all of them. Yeah, it's $2.58 for 6 of them. 2 net carbs for 2, so 1 each, which is the same as mine. This has a Wonderose sugar replacer, which has non-GMO soluble corn fiber and inulin, which I know inulin affects some people, bloating and stuff like that. So that's something to think about if you're sensitive to inulin. You just combine all this stuff, stir until smooth. So I got oil, milk, I used cashew milk, and eggs in here. These are all supposed to make 4-inch pancakes, just like mine, so I have a ruler standing by too. I wanted to see if you actually get 6 pancakes out of these measurements they give you. Let's sit. You probably have a spatula for all of these. Huh? And then on to mine. Now mine has quite a bit of sugar alcohols in it. It's 3 grams per pancake, when most of these are 1 or 1.25 or none at all. So the reason I developed my recipe the way I did is because I don't like our maple syrup substitutes. So you can eat my pancakes with nothing on them. If you're gonna eat some of these, you're gonna douse it in like a Locanto maple syrup, which is full of sugar alcohols. The nice thing about mine though is you can adjust the sweetness. You don't have to put any sugar in it if you don't want to, or just a couple drops of liquid stevia would be great in it just to sweeten it up a little bit. So I just gotta melt my butter. This is what makes mine kind of fluffy. It's a 1/4 cup of club soda. But you can use any carbonated beverage in here. The reason I thought of this was because I watched a Mythical Kitchen episode and they used White Claw to make pancakes. So if you wanted to use White Claw, you can. So 1 tablespoon of butter, egg and vanilla, and then club soda. And we're ready to start frying up some pancakes. Now, all of these say a 1/4 cup of batter onto your griddle, except for one says 2 tablespoons. Spraying with some avocado oil. Hopefully it won't stick. See, I got a ruler here. What's 4 inches? That's not quite 4 inches. Maybe I gotta spread this out a little bit. Well, like that. Okay, try to get 2 of each on here. Okay, 1 down. That is the birch benders, which I've heard horror stories about flipping those, so I hope it's not going to be a disaster on camera, because that would suck. Okay, so the high key is 2 tablespoons. So that's a 1/2 cup. So, whoa, that is thick boy. Try to make them 4 inches. This one said to stir again, so I'm going to stir it again briefly. This one's very airy looking. I looked up online, it said $3.75 for pancakes. I hope this cooks good. And mine is a 1/4 cup of batter. Okay, let's see if our first ones are ready to flip. Ooh, nope. Mine cook really fast. So these birch bender ones are taking a long time. Mine are almost ready. You can see the bubbles are forming and popping. They all say just to cook until set and then flip. So they seem like they're set, but they are gonna be hard to flip. And this would probably all be better if I did it on a pan on my stovetop, because I'm good at doing that. I've never used this before. Keto and Company look good. Well, maybe I can get these now. Yeah. They're the high key. Oh, one was done, one wasn't quite done. I thought using a griddle would make more even cooking, but apparently I was wrong. Birch benders didn't brown at all. It's so weird. Oh, they still seem really not cooked. Mine are cooked, I think. High key are good, I think. See, they're not cooking evenly. These are done. Oh, these fall apart, man. Wow. Keto and Company are definitely fluffy. Give mine a run for their money. Well, they might still be raw. I don't know. You know what I should have used? Got this newfangled thing here that I haven't even tested. Yeah, we're only at 300 over here. 390 over there. So apparently this griddle pan is not very consistent on heat. We're gonna call it here though. Give them a taste. Now, the birch benders ones, these I just remember being really dry. It's just, they're so crumbly. And definitely not sweet because there's no added sugar alcohols or anything to it. So if I were to make them again, I would add some liquid stevia or something because I don't use the keto maple syrups. I mean, it's fluffy. And they're just really crumbly. If you put syrup on them, I remember they did just fall apart on me. And they're like almost wet inside. They cooked for a good 5 minutes. That one kind of falls apart too. This is the high key. Definitely really good flavor. Again, they fall apart on you. I don't know if this one has any xanthan gum in it, but that's why I put it in mine, just to help it hold together. It's definitely less grainy. I don't know if that first one was cooked all the way. I mean, it's mushy inside. So cook them longer than you think you need to. The high key was the one with the most added ingredients, and I think that's probably why it tastes the best, because it has vanilla extract in it. It's pretty good. Keto and Company had almond milk. I used cashew, and it had just regular oil and egg. This doesn't have as good a flavor as the high key, but it has a better texture. I think it's very similar to mine. It does have like a pull to it. It has inulin, and I believe it has xanthan gum too. That's a good pancake, and I could eat that without syrup. These have 1 gram of sugar alcohols per pancake, and these are mine. I just think they have the most pancake-like texture out of all of them. The Keto and Company comes close. Mine are just light and airy. They got a good rip to them. They don't fall apart at all. Mine weren't even that cooked on the bottom, and they're still staying together. These have enough sweetness for me. Again, some people said in the comments that tried it that it was too sweet. Again, the great thing is that you can put as much as you want in, or you can just put it on top instead of inside, like with the maple syrups and stuff. These have really good texture. And mine, see, they weren't even like browned on the one side, and they're still nice and fluffy. And they taste like a pancake, which is the important thing. They're fluffy and airy. There is some baking powder in here too, but I think the holes are just created by that club soda, which I thought was genius when I figured this pancake recipe out, because literally I tried probably 10 before it, and nothing came out as good as these ones did. The birch bender comes close to the thickness, and yet they're just mushy. Mine are like fluffy. They bounce back. So I'm going to make up the rest of these pancakes, make sure that we get 6 of each, which is what is promised to us. I'll be back to tell you those conclusions. All our pancakes. Now, the conclusion is you probably shouldn't let any of these sit too long, past the recommended 30 seconds. I could not get 6 out of the high key with doing the 2 tablespoons even of batter in each one. I got 5 in a little tiny one. The birch benders was no problem. There's tons of batter. The Keto and Company is delicious. It is the most expensive, and it has the most kind of questionable ingredients. It has the soluble corn fiber, inulin, and it has natural flavors. The time is negligible. 5 minutes to put mine together, 4 minutes to put the high key together, 3.5 for the Keto and Company, and like a minute for the birch benders. But I love the flavor of the Keto and Company. I got 6 pancakes out of it. Mine, I only got 5. I think it's because the batter sat, and I'll probably change my recipe. It's probably more like 6 3-inch pancakes, because I never actually like measured. You know, I mean, I did decent sized pancakes. All these are options. The only other thing with the birch bender is 5 grams of net carbs for 2, which is pretty high. I guess it's all up to you. Let me know what your favorite keto mixes are, all your different brands. There's so many out there now, it's crazy. When I was just trying to choose pancake mixes, I'm like, which ones do I even choose? There's so many. I picked the ones that I thought were the most well-known. So I hope this gives you guys some good information, and hopefully you can see how easy it is to make your own keto pancakes at home that are light and fluffy. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please consider hitting the subscribe button down there, hitting the thumbs up, sharing with all your keto friends and family. And as always, I'll be back with many more keto dessert recipes. Bye guys.